my channel. Today I am here to talk to you about Leon the Professional, directed by Luc Besson. This movie was a little underwhelming for me. The Enter the Dragon used to be my least favorite off the poster, but now it is Leon the Professional. I was not the biggest fan of this movie. You know, I still liked it quite a bit. It was still good, but not nearly as good as all the other ones I've seen on this poster so far. It starts off with a very underwhelming, uninteresting action sequence that I was just like, okay, this is kind of not edited very well, not acted very well. Not a great start to the movie. That's probably the worst part of the movie, that opening sequence. It wasn't great, but that's it. The rest of the movie is not as bad as that is. This movie suffered a lot from a kind of a weak script, and also the cinematography was really bland. Nothing looked good. There was no good shots. There was no vibrant colors. Nothing that I look for in a good movie. It had none of it. It was just kind of a bland-looking movie. You know, not every movie has to be the most gorgeous movie in the world, but there was just not anything in this one. My biggest problem definitely was the romance thing with Leon and Matilda. It was mostly Matilda being into Leon, and Leon was like, I didn't want any part of that. Rightfully so, but I just thought it was really odd. I wasn't a big fan of it. It was just kind of, it made me uncomfortable seeing 12-year-old Natalie Portman try to like cuddle up with this like 40-year-old dude and try to like kiss him. It just wasn't for me. It made me really uncomfortable every time like those kind of scenes were on the screen, and I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. And I did some research after the movie, and lots of people are saying that's because, you know, she was abused. She didn't really know what love was at that point. She was, you know, heavily abused by her father, and her whole family was kind of just treated her like crap. She didn't have the best life, obviously, so when she finally found someone that actually, like, took her in and cared for her, she, you know, they did have a love for each other. Leon loved her, and Matilda loved Leon back, but, you know, it was a nice kind of father-daughter type love, kind of friendship, but she was into him in like a sexual way, and it just was weird. And apparently that's, you know, because she was abused and she didn't really know what to make of her feelings, but I still just thought it was weird to have an actual 12-year-old girl doing all those scenes with him. Those are pretty much my only problems with the movie, though. As for what I liked, Natalie Portman was really good in this. She gave a great performance, especially since she was 12 at the time. She was given some great deliveries with her lines. She was tearing up. She was really convincing. She was definitely a great actress even back then. Gary Oldman was also incredible. He played this like maniac type villain who like did drugs and like had a seizure every time he took his pills, and you could tell that Gary Oldman was having a blast playing that kind of character. I would too. Playing crazy characters is my favorite thing, and you know, Gary Oldman played it very well. He looked like he was having a great time with that character. I thought a lot of the action was pretty good. Nothing blew me away. You know, it wasn't the craziest, like, best action movie I've ever seen. It wasn't really even an action movie. It was just kind of a story of these two people and the relationship building. But you know, when it did have action scenes, I was a fan of them. They were mostly well done, you know, except for the beginning one. But again, nothing really blew me away. And yeah, while I didn't like the weird romantic sexual scenes, I was a fan of watching Leon and Matilda's relationship grow from, you know, Leon wanting her out of his life as soon as possible to him kind of taking her in as a mentor, and them starting to love each other and starting to become really close. I was a fan. It was a nice, sweet story. I just really wish that romance stuff wasn't in there. I wasn't a fan of that at all. And yeah, the ending was really sweet. If you haven't seen it, spoilers, but he dies at the end, Leon, and he has this plant that Matilda buries in the ground. That was kind of a theme throughout the whole movie, is that he needed to find his roots. So at the end, Matilda takes the plant and plants it in a park, and that was a sweet scene. A nice little send-off to Leon. Leon was a great character. He was a nice, sweet guy. Overall, I was a fan of this movie. There was a lot of parts that I wasn't too big on, you know, especially the romance stuff. I did not like that at all. Wish it was out of the movie. It could have worked just fine without that weird sexual stuff. But other than that, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. The next one I'm watching is Dirty Dancing, so look forward to that review. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Like if you liked, subscribe, and peace out, bow, bow, bow.